Hi, welcome to the online classes for CRS828 Further Hebrew. My name is Uzoma Emozike, and this video is designed to introduce you to the basic characteristics of the Hebrew noun and its function in Hebrew sentences. Meet me in the class. The topic once again is the Hebrew noun, and the facilitator is Uzoma Emozike of National Open University of. In our previous lesson, we discussed the different types of prepositions and the conjunction verb and how they are used in Hebrew language. Today, as I have said, we are going to be concentrating on the form, structure, and basic usage of the Hebrew noun. And it is expected that by the end of this class, you should be able to demonstrate how case function is determined in Hebrew language, identify the marking of a direct object, and explain the use of the construct relation, and also discuss how plural forms are written in Hebrew language and the formation of the genders in Hebrew. Now, let's note the fact that there are two types of noun in Hebrew language. We have the singular and the non-singular nouns. In this class, we shall be concentrating on the non-singular nouns. Now, nouns have the following properties: the property of gender, the property of number, person, and the cases. So, by gender, we think of two instead of three in Greek. We think of the masculine and the feminine, and we also have number in Hebrew, and the Jewish or the Hebrews think of three numbers: the singular, the plural, and the dual. Dual has to do with those parts of the body or those objects that naturally come in pairs. Then person has to do with either the first person, the second person, and the third person. Normally, these distinctions apply to the study of pronoun, but they are implicit in the grammar of noun as well. Now we have also the case. This indicates the grammatical function of a noun in a sentence. The noun can be a subject of a sentence, an object, or in a possessive or construct relation. Let's look at the cases of noun in Hebrew language. We have the nominative case, the genitive case, accusative case, ablative case, dative, locative, and instrumental cases. However, we will concentrate on three: the nominative case, genitive case, and accusative case. Now, let's begin with the nominative case. The nominative case now performs the function of the subject. So anytime nominative is mentioned, as far as noun is concerned, think of the subject of the sentence, and it comes after the finite verb. It comes after the finite verb. In the Hebrew language, the nominative case does not have identical case endings, but in Greek, there is identical case endings, not the same with the Hebrew. And we have, for instance, Mashal ha-melech. Mashal ha-melech, the king ruled. Now the genitive case. The genitive case indicates the possessive noun. That is, it is a case that indicates a possession. This is done in Hebrew by a special construct relation called the construct by a special construction called the construct relations. When two nouns are placed together, that's how to identify a noun in construct relation. When two nouns are placed together without any punctuation mark or any other word, they are said to be in construct relations. The first, that's the first substantive, is in construct state, and it does not take the definite article, even if the other noun takes the definite article. The other noun, that's the second noun, will be in the absolute state. An example is Sus ha-ish, the horse of the man, or the man's horse. The governing substantive is sus and is in the construct relation, and as you can see, it is not having the definite article, while ha-ish will be in the absolute, or is in the absolute Now let's look at the accusative case. The accusative case designates the direct object. However, in Hebrew language, this is not marked by identical word ending also, but the position of the object in the sentence. In Hebrew language, the direct object under normal circumstances follow the subject of the sentence. And it is also possible to mark the direct object, especially in Hebrew, using the word et. Et has no English equivalent, but it is used to mark the direct object of a sentence. When a direct object carries the, especially when the direct object carries the definite article, without the definite, that's without the direct object, it is difficult, especially with the definite article, to mark the direct object. That is why this the earth is very important. Now let's look, for instance, the same example we have used in the case of the nominative noun. Marshal Hamalek, the king, ruled. But with the introduction of the earth, the meaning changes. For instance, Marshal et Hamalek, he ruled the king. So the king now is the direct object of another person, the person that is doing the ruling. I hope this is clear. Now, let's look at number and gender. As I have said, there is only two genders in Hebrew language, that is the masculine and feminine. And then we have the three numbers, the singular, the plural, and the dual, which I have explained also. Now, let's look at how the feminine singular is formed and how the plural of the masculine and the feminine are formed. In Hebrew language, almost every word comes with the masculine jacket. So almost every word, apart from the words that have to do with womanhood or the institution of, yes, womanhood or feminine names, every or almost every Hebrew word comes in the jacket of the masculine, and the feminine is a derivative. That the feminine is derived from the masculine by suffixing. It is suffix, please, by suffixing or adding to the end of the masculine noun, adding kamat he, and it's better to use the word suffix kamat he for clarity. So the kamat he in a word tells you or gives the primary suggestion that that word is a feminine word until otherwise stated. The plural masculine is formed by adding im, that is hirik yod, and mem to the singular, and then that is suffixes hirik yod mem to the singular, and the plural feminine is formed by replacing the kamate with holem tau, holem verb and tau, holem verb and tau. The dual is formed by adding a yim, while the feminine is done by adding, that is for the dual, is done by adding tayim. In other words, the original feminine singular for the feminine. And I have it to illustrate what I mean. So we have the masculine and the feminine. We have the word sus to illustrate what I have done with the numbers and the gender. We have the sus in the absolute and the construct state. So we have sus, suzim, suzayim. That's the dual, suzayim. We have suzim, we have sus. Then the construct relation, suze, sus, suze. And then we have the absolute also for the feminine, which is suza. You have seen the kamat he ending. And then suzot, which is the holem verb tau ending, and the suzatayim, which is the dual ending. It is important that you know this. It is common with every other Hebrew noun, apart from irregular cases, which are not always common. They are just few exceptions. Now, let us note some irregular plurals treated below. I have said there are exceptions or irregular nouns. Now, the irregular nouns are those, especially masculine nouns, that instead of coming with the in, the hierarchy, come with the feminine plural ending oath. And we have example of fathers. Fathers, Av is father. Ordinarily, it should have been avim, which is the plural ending for the masculine. But instead of having avim, the word comes as avot. That is how there is no formula that led to this. This is just how the word has presented itself in the plural. Please note it and use it accordingly. We also have meko moat, micromoat, which is places, and it's also having moat instead of meme. We have kolot. Kolot, I hope you know, is voice and voices. Instead of having in, kolin, we have kolot. So note it also. Instead of having shemim, which is names, we have shemot. That is names. Please note these endings. They are irregular. There are other irregular nouns in Hebrew language. Now let's look at irregular feminine nouns. We have yonim. Yonim is doves. Instead of having yonot, which is feminine, we have yonim. So you note it. We have milim. Milim instead of milot. This is another word for words in Hebrew language, which you should also note. It is traceable to mela, which is feminine, and the masculine, the plural should have been milot, but we have milim. Please note these words, and there are others. We just pick few examples to illustrate that fact. Now look at this class activity and then continue. Okay, so let's have a recap of what we have done today. Today, we have studied the basic characteristics and usage of the Hebrew noun, and we have seen several cases of the noun, especially the nominative case, which functions as the subject of the sentence, and then the genitive case, which expresses possession, and the accusative case with the marking of the direct object. The use of gender and number have also been explained. That's how number is used and gender in Hebrew language. And of course, we saw the properties of the Hebrew noun, which is gender, number, person, and cases. Then you have also known that Hebrew language has only masculine and feminine genders, and that there are three numbers: the singular, the plural, and the dual. You have learned some nouns that are irregular or regarded as irregular nouns, like avot, for instance, having a feminine plural ending instead of a masculine in plural ending. Next time, we shall be looking at the adjective in Hebrew language. Thanks for coming to